What if I told you that the most sought-after secret in human history isn't a lost city or a buried treasure, but a drink? For over 3,000 years, scholars, mystics, and scientists have been obsessed with a single name, Soma. Celebrated in the ancient Rigveda as the drink of the gods, it was said to grant immortality, divine visions, and superhuman strength to those who consumed it. And then it vanished from the face of the earth. But what if it didn't disappear? What if this ancient technology of consciousness never left us? What if it was simply rediscovered on a different continent under a different name? Tonight, we trace a thread across continents and millennia, from the mountain hymns of ancient India to the heart of the Amazon jungle. We're going to investigate the shocking theory that the legendary Soma and the modern brew known as Ayahuasca might be two versions of the same profound truth. And the most compelling evidence doesn't come from a dusty text, but from the latest brain scanners in cutting-edge labs. Stick around, because by the end of this, you will never look at human history or your own mind the same way again. To understand the scale of this mystery, we have to go back to the source, the Rigveda, one of humanity's oldest sacred texts. Here, Soma isn't just a beverage, it's a god, a plant, and a ritual all in one. The hymns are ecstatic, obsessed. An entire book of the Rigveda is devoted to it. They describe pressing the stalks of a mysterious plant, filtering its juice, and mixing it with milk and honey. The effects are described in transcendent terms. We have drunk the Soma. We have become immortal. We have gone to the light. We have found the gods. It was the fuel of the Vedic world. The god Indra, the king of heaven, was said to drink lakes of it before battling demons. For the priests, it was a sacrament that bridged the human and the divine. Then, around 1000 BCE, something strange happens. The detailed descriptions of the plant fade away. Soma is still worshipped, but the original ingredient is gone. The texts start mentioning substitutes, plants like somalata or ephedra, which are not hallucinogenic. The true Soma was lost. This is where the detective story begins. For the last 200 years, every generation has looked for Soma and found a reflection of its own obsessions. The 19th century thought it was an alcoholic brew, like mead. The 1920s, 50s, with rising awareness of cannabis, proposed it was a powerful form of bang. The 1960s, the psychedelic era, brought the most famous theory. Amateur mycologist and banker named R. Gordon Wasson made a sensational claim. Soma was the red and white spotted fly agaric mushroom, Amanita muscaria. He pointed to vivid descriptions of a tawny juice and the lack of mentions of leaves or seeds. It was a theory perfect for the psychedelic 60s, but it had problems. Other scholars fiercely debated it, pointing out verses that described Soma as a green, branching tree. The mystery only deepened. So, if not alcohol, not cannabis, and likely not a single mushroom, what was it? To find a new clue, we need to travel over 9,000 miles away, to a place where the vine of the soul has never been lost. In the Amazon basin, for untold centuries, indigenous peoples have worked with a sacred medicine, ayahuasca. Its name means vine of the soul or vine of the dead. Like Soma, it's not one plant, but a synthesis. A vine, Banisteriopsis caapi, is boiled for days with the leaves of a shrub, Psychotria viridis. And like the ancient Vedic rituals, its use is guided by a shaman in ceremonies designed for healing, vision, and communing with the spirit world. But is this just a coincidence of poetry? Or could there be a real, pharmacological link? What if the ancient Aryans and the Amazonian shamans, separated by an ocean and 3,000 years, stumbled upon the same biochemical key? To solve this, we need to become armchair pharmacists. The power of ayahuasca comes from a brilliant, natural piece of chemistry. The Psychotria leaf contains a powerful psychedelic compound, N-dimethyltryptamine, or DMT. But if you simply ate the leaf, nothing would happen. Your stomach enzyme, monoamine oxidase, MEO, would destroy it instantly. This is where the genius of the vine comes in. Banisteriopsis caapi contains beta-carbolines, like harmine. These are monoamine oxidase inhibitors, MAOIs. They temporarily disable that stomach enzyme. The DMT survives, enters your bloodstream, and reaches your brain, producing an hours-long visionary journey. Now, Let's return to the Soma debate in the 1980s and 90s. Scholars like David Flattery pointed to a plant used in ancient Iranian Halma rituals. Halma is Soma's cousin Peganum harmala, also known as Syrian rue. Guess what? Syrian rue is packed with the exact same beta-carboline MAO inhibitors, harmine and harmaline, as the ayahuasca vine. The theory emerged. What if the original Soma wasn't a single plant, but a combination? What if the Vedic priests were combining a DMT-containing plant, which grew in the mountains, with an MAOI-containing plant like Syrian rue, which grows in arid regions? They would have accidentally, or intentionally, created an ancient ayahuasca analog. This isn't just speculation. Modern practitioners do this. They create what some call pharmacological or even Soma by combining Syrian rue extract with a DMT source. The experience is reported to be fundamentally similar to Amazonian ayahuasca. This means the technology of Soma may not have been a single lost species. It may have been a recipe that could have been forgotten when the migrating Aryans left behind one of the two crucial ingredients in their original homeland. Meanwhile, halfway across the world, the Amazonian peoples discovered the same recipe with different local plants. This isn't just an academic puzzle. The rediscovery of this technology is exploding into modern science and medicine, validating what ancient traditions knew all along. For decades dismissed as just drugs, DMT and ayahuasca are now at the forefront of a psychedelic renaissance. Rigorous clinical trials are showing staggering results. Rapid antidepressant effects. A single dose of ayahuasca can produce fast and sustained relief for people with severe, treatment-resistant depression. Vaporized DMT. New 2025 research shows inhaled DMT can reduce depressive symptoms within 24 hours, with effects lasting for months, all from an experience lasting less than 30 minutes. Beyond the mind. Incredibly, recent 2025 studies even suggest DMT can help protect and heal the brain physically after a stroke by reducing inflammation and protecting the blood-brain barrier. Science is now mapping what the shamans described. Brain imaging shows that these substances reduce activity in the brain's default mode network, the neurological seat of the ego and repetitive self-narrative. They create a state of hyperconnected, flexible brain activity, which correlates with feelings of unity, insight, and psychological breakthrough. This brings us to the deepest question of all: consciousness. These substances force us to ask, is this spiritual experience they produce, reported so consistently across cultures and epochs, just a chemical illusion? Or are they tools that temporarily remove filters, allowing us to perceive deeper layers of reality that are always there? The Vedic poets believed they were finding the gods. Modern psychonauts speak of accessing cosmic consciousness. Neuroscientists talk about altered network dynamics. They might all be describing the same profound, ineffable shift in human awareness. So, was Soma the same as ayahuasca? We may never have a DNA sample from a 3,000-year-old altar to prove it, but the evidence is compelling. We have two sacred, plant-based brews, used in ritual contexts, producing profoundly similar transcendental states. We have a plausible pharmacological bridge in the beta-carboline MAOI connection. And we have the uncanny pattern of history, where every generation sees in Soma what it most desires. Perhaps the most important lesson is this: the human drive to explore the frontiers of consciousness is not a modern rebellion. It is one of our oldest traditions. From the poets of the Rigveda to the shamans of the Amazon, we have always sought to reach beyond the ordinary, to heal, to understand, and to touch the divine. But the story doesn't end here. The mystery of Soma has one final, shocking layer. If DMT is so powerful, and if an ayahuasca-like brew was known in the ancient old world, why did its use fade in the East while it was preserved in the Amazon? Some researchers point to a darker, more controversial theory, that the rise of organized empires and state religions actively suppressed these direct, personal, mystical experiences. They wanted a monopoly on the divine. What do you think? Was Soma an ancient ayahuasca? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Make sure you are subscribed and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching.